apps, okay? I'm gonna be real with you this morning. It is diabolical how you spend so much time on these apps and you're not even getting paid to be here. It don't make sense. Since when did we start doing stuff for free? You realize these apps make billions and you're on here for free? Absolutely not. No. Starting today, anytime you post, anytime you go live, anytime you're doing anything, you should be making money off of these apps. And if you are not doing that, then we have got to fix the problem today, not tomorrow, not next week. It's got to get fixed today, okay? I also want you ladies to understand this. You should be generating income while you are asleep, all right? We're building wealth. We cannot do that if the only time you make income is if you are actively working for it. Let's be real. At some point, you're gonna wanna take a vacation, true or false? At some point, you're gonna wanna spend time with your family. At some point, you're gonna wanna do self-care. But if the only time you make income is when you are physically working for it, that is a serious problem that we have to fix today. Because life does not have to be that way. You guys have already waken up and I've already made $300. And I just got online an hour ago. Okay, so we gotta fix it today. What I want you ladies to understand is this. You only need one, just one digital product in your storefront. You only need one. And that one product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life. How do I know that? Because my digital product business changed mine. You guys, when I first started this 6 years ago, I started during COVID, I lost 100 pounds. And on my weight loss journey, I learned how to exercise, I learned how to eat right, and most importantly, I fixed my mindset. And so what I did was I took all of that knowledge that I learned and turned it into an ebook. And I started selling that ebook to other people who also wanted to learn how to lose weight too. So, anything, and I literally mean anything, anything that you want to sell, you can. I got you, Warm, I got you. But the problem is you live in fear. Good morning, you live in fear. On my life, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you've been doing for a very long time. You have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea for years. Because you are so fearful of looking stupid. You're so fearful of failing. You're so fearful of people talking about you. And all of this fear that you refuse to let go of is the very fear that is stealing your dream life from you. It is stealing it. Because let's be real, you already know what side of town you want to live on. True or false? You already know what kind of cars you want to drive. You already know what kind of vacations you want to take with your family. You already know how much money you want in your savings account. True or false? But every day that you do not live that life is another day that you could have, but you chose to let fear steal it from you. Gotta let go of fear, ladies. That's the only way any of this is gonna work. All right, good morning. Now I'm gonna be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. It would be in your best interest to take notes. Because if I know anything about you, you are human, which means you're bound to forget because life, and stress is true or false. We already know the bills is piling up. You're gonna forget. So it would be in your best interest to take notes so that when you do forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. The key word of this live, ladies, is going to be execution. You are going to hear me say this word 10 million times because I need it to stick in your pretty head. We have got to execute. It does not matter how many lives you watch. It does not matter how many YouTube videos you watch. Honestly, it doesn't even matter how many courses you buy. If you do not execute any of the things that you are taught, nothing will change. You're doing a lot of watching, but you're not doing any doing. Gotta fix it, okay? So make sure you guys are going to execute. That is key. Now, if you've never seen my face before, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz, and this morning I'm gonna be teaching you guys how to create and sell your digital product. We're going to be building your online business, but most importantly, we're gonna be building you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are getting in your own way. Clock it. It's you holding yourself back. Some of y'all love to blame other people. You love to blame your circumstances. No, ma'am, not on this live. You are not a victim. No, you are not a victim at all. It is you that is holding you back. It is your lack of consistency. It is your lack of discipline. It is your lack of confidence. It is your lack of follow through. It is your lack of accountability. It is your lack of prioritizing yourself in your own life. And until we change you, ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing going to change. Some of you guys buy course after course. Am I lying? But you haven't done the one thing that will actually get you the results that you want, which is change who you are. You are going to have to change because there's things about you that is holding you back, and we have to fix it today, okay? Now, if you have your pen and paper in hand, go ahead and put ready in the chat, because if you are ready to learn, I am ready to teach. She said, would you stay with friends who anger? No, absolutely not. No, ma'am, no. Remove them. This shows that you don't have self-respect and you don't have self-love. I'm actually glad you brought that up. And these are things I'm going to be touching on later on this morning. You guys, the people who you keep around you, if they are tearing you down, if they are making you feel less than, why do you have them in your life? I'm gonna tell you why. Because subconsciously, you don't even believe that you're worthy of healthy relationships. That's why you keep them around. This is a lack of confidence, okay? So if you have your pen and paper in hand, thank you, Trent. Also, one last thing, if I say anything that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. YouTube, I see 15 people on here and only 2 thumbs up. You guys double tap, like, comment, and share. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives to more people. And believe it or not, a lot of women don't realize they're the reason why things ain't getting done. See, they think it's everybody else. They blaming everybody and everything else. But just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others, okay? So start interacting with this live. Thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. So what is a digital product and how will we build the business? So a digital product is something you do not have physical possession of. So think of a movie on Netflix. Think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. You don't physically have it in your possession. It's all out somewhere in the cloud, okay? Ladies, you are going to create something to sell. Create it. Listen, you can resell courses all you want. I know some of y'all buy course after course to resell, but I am going to highly suggest that you create your own product to sell. Okay, I want you to think about what is it that you have a passion for? What is it that you truly love to do? And whatever that is, that's what I want you to sell. I told you guys when I first started, I lost 100 pounds. And I learned a lot on my weight loss journey. And I put all of that knowledge that I learned into an ebook and started selling it over and over again on YouTube. And you don't have to sell an ebook if you don't want to. You could do an e-course, you could do workbooks and journals, you could do affirmation guides. Literally whatever you want to do, you can sell, okay? There's no limitation on your greatness except the limitation that you put on yourself. So stop telling yourself what you can't do, because you can. Okay, now I'm going to give y'all 2 apps. Good morning. And these apps will change your entire life if you use them. So not only are you going to download it, you're going to open it up and you're going to do the things that we're talking about this morning. Okay. If you're ready for app number 1, go ahead and put 1 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business this morning. If I say anything at all that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, start double tapping the screen. TikTok number 1, I only see 37 hearts. It takes 2 seconds to double tap. Let's go, let's go. YouTube, I see 10 people on here and only 5 thumbs up. The math ain't mathin'. The more we interact with these lives, you guys, the more these lives will get pushed to more people. Good morning, Shah, okay? App number 1, write it down, is Canva. C-A-N-V-A, Canva. Write it down. Remember, we're taking notes because the key word of this live is execution. You can watch all the lives you want. You can watch all the YouTube videos you want. You can buy all the courses you want. But at the end of the day, if you don't execute, ain't shit gonna happen. Let's just be real. I'm gonna tell you the truth this morning. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. It ain't gonna happen if you don't do it, okay? A business does not just fall into your lap. Money does not just land into your bank account by accident. You had to execute for it. Let's stop playing games. Okay, Canva, you will be using this app for everything. Okay, so maybe you do want to create content. Canva has thousands of Instagram reel templates on there for you to use. Maybe you want to start that YouTube channel. I tell you every morning to start. Every day I say, get your ass on YouTube. Maybe today you're gonna listen. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnails, and the thumbnails, you guys, are just the pictures that you see before you actually click on the video. This is what draws people's attention to your YouTube video in the first place. All of the creators, including myself, are getting the templates off of Canva, and it's very easy to use. Don't be in your head, why it's hard. No, it's not. Get out your head. And maybe you do want to sell an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you how to make this morning, but you want it to look all professional and branded. Fine. Canva has thousands of ebook templates on there for you to use, okay? It's very easy. You just drag and drop. Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's living in fear. She knows who she is. Good morning. She knows who she is. We already said earlier, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what she's about to do. Because you're saying things to yourself like, Jazz, I would love to start an online business, but I'm not tech savvy. What if I'm too old? What if it's too late for me? Okay, well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea like you always do, listen to me. Thank you, Latanya. First and foremost, you woke up this morning. You woke up this morning. That is a blessing, okay? Every day that you are blessed with another day means that you are blessed with another opportunity to work toward your goals. So use it. Until you are 6 feet under, it is never too late to start anything. So get that out your head. Number 2, you are very tech savvy because you're on these apps all day. I already know. You are liking, commenting, sharing, archiving. True or false? That takes tech savviness. So you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. And number 3, for my ladies who think they are too old to start a business, let me tell you this. What did we say? We are gonna sell our knowledge. So if you are older, that means you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of wisdom, which means you have a lot of things that you can be selling. So get to selling, please and thank you. All right. If you're ready for app number 2, put a 2 in the chat. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. She said, me, Latanya, you got lots of things you could be selling. I know you done been through some things. You done seen some things. You have a lot of information to teach the younger folk. So please get to selling. Stop holding yourself back. I cannot make this up. The things that you have going on in your pretty head of yours is what's holding you back. You love to use the phrase, I can't. That's like your favorite phrase. But that's the phrase that's keeping you stagnant because what you say to yourself determines how you show up for yourself. And when you say things like, I can't, you start to act like you can't. And in fact, you really can't. You got to stop talking to yourself like that. You got to stop being negative. I cannot make this up, okay? App number 2, ChatGPT. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Unstoppable. ChatGPT, you will be using this app for everything. This is AI, okay? This is AI. And AI is going to make your life so easy. So maybe you do want to create content, but you're just not too sure what kind of videos to make. Fine, ChatGPT will tell you. Maybe you do want to start a YouTube channel, but you're just camera shy and you don't know what to say in the videos. Fine. ChatGPT will script the entire video for you. Now all you gotta do is say the words, okay? And maybe you do want to sell an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you how to make and sell this morning, but you just don't know what to put in it. Fine. What if I told you ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds? Ladies, I cannot make this up. It has never been easier than today to start your online business. But for the umpteenth time, You keep holding yourself back. Well, all of my life I've been my worst critic. I can't make this up. The things you have going on in this pretty head of yours is exactly why it's not getting done. Okay? Shy said, camera shy, you can be faceless. I can't make this up. It has never been easier. Okay? So I gave you Canva and I gave you ChatGPT. Now we're going to put it together and write it. If you are ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. If you are not taking notes, tisk, 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 shame on you. You are doing yourself a disservice, because if I know anything about you, you are a human, which means you're going to forget. Let's be real, life's, and stresses, and then bills is piling up. But if you write it down, anything that I do say that you happen to forget, you can still refer back to your notes and get it done. Also, you guys, make sure you like, comment, and share this live. YouTube, you guys typically are my most interactive live, and y'all are quiet this morning. I see 10 people on here and only 6 thumbs up. The math ain't mathing. I don't get it. Double tap the screen. All right, so ChatGPT, thank you, Han. You're gonna open up chat. In the search, you're gonna write this down. Prompt number 1. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put got that in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. Put got that in the chat. And while I wait for some got that's, let me ask you this. When was the last time you said to yourself, I'm going to set aside 20 minutes to work on something for me? I don't care what's going on. I don't care what's not done. I am going to set aside 20 minutes of my day and do something for me. Some of y'all don't ever do that. Good morning, Sharon. Some of you don't ever do it. And that is the problem. You never prioritize yourself in your own life. That's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And some of you love to run with the narrative of, well, Jazz, I just don't have time. That's a bold-faced lie. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't ever forget that, because you have time to be on these apps. You have time to watch your favorite shows and your favorite movies. You have time to talk on the phone and gossip with your friends. You got time. You are just not utilizing the time that you have towards something for you. And that's the problem. You have got to start making yourself a priority in your own life. You have got to say, I'm going to take 30 minutes and do this for me. It's a non-negotiable. It is a non-negotiable, because if you continue to not do that, you will continue to not get the results that you want. Every day you have a choice. You're either going to choose to keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of distractions, or you're going to choose to put 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, I don't care, towards something that you want to do for you. Those are the only 2 options you got. So choose wisely. Thank you. All right, y'all got that. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. You're gonna hit enter. Now, before we move any further, I want you to write this word down. This says consistent. She said, wow, that's crazy. I'm seeing this video. I just made my ebook, but I'm too scared and shy to go live and sell. No, ma'am, we're not gonna be scary. We're not gonna be scary. Write this word down. This says consistent. Write it down. And then I want you to underline it. And then I want you to circle it 50,000 times. Because starting this morning, you and I are gonna lock in on the true definition of the word consistent, because a lot of y'all are very confused. So I'm gonna go ahead and unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think consistent means when you feel like it. Some of y'all think consistent means if you're not too busy, if you have time. No, ma'am. No. Consistent means more often than not. So, if there are 7 days in a week, consistent means working on the goal that you have for yourself in your life at least 4 out of the 7. Whether that's 20 minutes a day, whether that's 2 hours a day, I don't give a damn. But you will be working on the goal that you have for yourself, whatever it is, 4 out of the 7 days. And like I said, don't you dare tell me you don't have time, because if you have time to be caught up on Love Island and Love is Blind, you have time to work on the business. You have time to work on the weight loss goals. You have time to work on the diploma. Whatever it is you're working towards, you got time. You are going to have to be consistent in order for any of this to work. Just like you consistently go to your job so that you can get that paycheck in 2 weeks. Oh, clock it. You're going to have to consistently show up for yourself. If that means you got to start eliminating phone conversations and gossip, if that means you're going to have to stop watching as much TV, if that means you're going to have to stop being on social media as much, you are going to have to make yourself a priority consistently. You got to be consistent, ladies. I'm not going to tell you no tales. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can make $1 million and not do shit. I'm not going to tell you that tale. Some of y'all like to be lied to. I ain't the one. I'm going to tell you the truth. You are going to have to be consistent. Now, let's make consistency easy, because life is hard enough. The bills is piling up, life is life, and stress is stressing, and sometimes consistency can be hard as hell. So let's make it easy. Okay. It is so much easier for you to be consistent when you do things that you actually enjoy doing. I cannot make this up. Because when you actually like what you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And when things don't feel like work, you're more likely to do them. I want you to go through that list that ChatGPT gave you and only choose things off of the list that you truly enjoy doing. I want you to ask yourself, what is something that I would absolutely love to talk about all day, every day, if I could get paid for it? And whatever that thing is, that's what I want you to do. This is why a lot of you guys struggle with reselling those e-courses that you buy to resell, because you don't even have a passion for it. Half of y'all didn't even look at the stuff that was in there. You were told a tale. If you buy this course, you're going to make $10,000 next week. And you believed them. And you are struggling with selling it because you don't even have a passion for it. But if you sell something that you truly enjoy talking about, it selling is effortless because you truly believe in what it is that you're talking about. I only want you to choose ideas that you actually have a passion for. Now, if ChatGPT gave you 10 things and you don't like none of the things it gave you, fine, ask for 10 more. And keep asking until it gives you something you want to use. I can't make this up. Something else too. The reason why a lot of us struggle with depression, I used to struggle with that too, is because within our 24 hours of our day, there is nothing in our day that we look forward to. Your life begins to feel like it's on repeat. You get up, you go to work, you hate your job, you come home, you take care of your family, you go to bed, and you do it all over again. Day after day, week after week, year after year. And at no point in that day did you pencil in anything that made you happy. Obviously, you're going to be depressed. That is depressing shit. But if you start scheduling 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes every other day, towards something that you love, that makes you happy, now you have something to look forward to in your day. Now you have something to be excited about. So please do yourself a favor and only choose things that you like. For my ladies who live healthy lifestyles, I lost 100 pounds. Isn't it so much easier to eat healthy foods when you eat the healthy foods that you actually like to eat? Yeah, I hate watermelon. It's nasty. I hate the smell and I hate the taste. Do you know how hard it would be for me to consistently eat fruit if the only fruit I ate was watermelon? I wouldn't be able to do it because it's nasty. But I love blueberries. I love pineapples. I love oranges, so I only eat the fruits that I love so that I can consistently eat my fruits. Okay? Same thing. Same thing. All right? Okay. One more thing before we get to prompt number 2. This is critical. This is critical. Ladies, write this down. If you don't remember shit else I say this morning, you better remember this. Write this down. Money flows where energy goes. I'm going to say that again. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget that. Money flows where energy goes. If you're anything like who I used to be, you are giving all of your energy to any and everybody. You have become an energy vending machine. You're giving all of your energy to your husband, your boyfriend, your sneaky link. You're giving all of your energy to your children. You are giving all of your energy to your family, your aging parents. You are giving all of your energy to your job and your coworkers. You're giving all of your energy to your friends. You're giving all of your energy to celebrity gossip. You're giving all of your energy to social media. You're giving all your energy to the news. And by the time you sit down to work on something for yourself, can't do it. Why? Because you gave all your energy away. You ain't got no more energy. That's why. And now you feel stressed, frustrated, depressed, anxious, resentful, because you keep giving all of your energy to everybody else. That's a problem. That is a problem. And let's be clear. Most, not all, most of the people that you are giving all this energy to are grown, able-bodied adults who are not reciprocating it back to you. Because if they were truly reciprocating energy back to you, you would not feel drained. You would not feel frustrated because it would be give and take. They give, you take, you give, they take. But that's not what's going on here. You're doing all of the giving and they are doing all of the taking. And that's why you feel the way you feel today. So, starting today, you are going to reel that energy back to yourself. You are going to start telling people no. And no is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain shit. The answer is no. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on a business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. It does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to sit there and listen to her problems. It makes you human. You matter too. Your happiness is important too. So starting today, the answer is no. No, I cannot loan you money. That is money I could be using for my business. No, I cannot give you a ride. That is time that I could be spending for my business, my goals. No, I do not want to sit here and listen to you talk about your problems. I got to fix my own. Get a counselor. The answer is no. No, no, no. When you start telling people no, you start saying yes to you. You cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. Your cup has been empty for a very, very, very long time. The only way that you can effectively pour into others is if your cup is in overflow. And the only way your cup will be in overflow is if you start putting yourself first. So the answer is no. When you start telling people no, you start saying yes to yourself. Money flows where energy goes. The more energy that you start putting into you, I cannot make this up, the more money you will start to make. Okay? Don't ever forget that. All right. Prompt number 2, once you choose the digital product idea you want to use, good morning, you will type this into ChatGPT. Prompt number 2, write this down. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. If you've got that, go ahead and put "got that" in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Good morning, closed mouths do not get fed. And for those of y'all, who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business this morning, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. Ladies, your lack of confidence is what's holding you back. The reason you lack confidence in yourself is because you never, ever, ever keep the promises you made to yourself. Year after year, you said you was going to start a business. Ain't started yet. Year after year, you said you was going to lose weight. Ain't lose it yet. Year after year, you made promises to yourself and you haven't done it. And over time, that slowly erodes at your confidence to the point where you don't have any. And now you're sitting here doubting your ability to get this done. You have got to start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. That is the only way you're going to start to feel better about yourself. And when you feel good, you do good. Meaning you start showing up for yourself because you feel good about yourself. I cannot make this up. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. You're going to hit enter. This is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to start your online business because ChatGPT literally wrote the ebook for you from beginning to end. Now all you have to do is copy and paste. That's it. You will literally copy what ChatGPT gave you and you will paste it into Canva. So open up the Canva app, in the search, type in ebooks, hit enter. It's going to give you thousands of templates. Pick your most favorite one. They are all 1000% customizable, meaning you can swap out the colors, the fonts, the pictures, whatever you want to do. You will copy and you will paste. Now, for my ladies who overthink, you know who you are. You literally overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. Stop, because it's not getting you anywhere. I want you to write this down. KISS, K-I-S-S. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Keep it simple, silly. I need you to make sure that your ebook is clean, simple, and legible. That's it. Clean, simple, legible. Stop overthinking. Clean, simple, legible. Okay? Once you are done copying and pasting and you love the way it looks, you will download it as a PDF file. I hope y'all are taking notes. Download it as a PDF file. And then once you have downloaded it as a PDF file, you will upload it to your hosting site. Write these down. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, and Shopify. Stan Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. These are some of the most popular hosting sites. Yes, there are plenty more out there, but these are some of the most popular ones. And your product only needs to be on one of these, not all 5. If you've got all of that, go ahead and put "got that" in the chat. Let me know that you've got that. Also, you guys, make sure you follow me so you do not lose me because they do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts and then they turn around and message you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok streets. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, okay? Do you got all of this? Let me know. Talk to me. The more we interact with these lives, thank you, Robin, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives to more people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women who don't even know they're the ones holding themselves back. They don't even know they're the one holding themselves back. They have no clue. They have tried to change everything except themselves. It is you holding you back. Now, while I wait for some got that's, I cannot stress the importance of this. Ladies, we have got to get out of our comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your zone of familiarity. It's what you're used to. 9 times out of 10, it's what you do every single day. It's your routines and your habits. But that comfort zone that you're in isn't getting you anywhere. The business still hasn't been started. The sales are not coming in. You still lack confidence in yourself. You do not keep the promises that you make to yourself. You are stressed. You are depressed. You are anxious. That comfort zone is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you watching from the sidelines. At some point, in order to get the results that you want, yes, Gumroad, in order for you to get the results that you want, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone, meaning you are going to have to do something a little bit different today. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Shopify, it's expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. That's not how that works. You are going to have to change some things up. I lost 100 pounds. I was not going to lose 100 pounds by continuing to eat fast food and junk food every day. I had to change things up. I had to start eating fruits and vegetables. I had to start moving my body. The same with your business. You are not going to have a business by watching people talk about business every day. At some point, you're going to have to actually do business things like posting content, creating your product. You are going to have to take a step out that comfort zone if you want things to change for you. You don't have a choice. Or you can keep doing what you've been doing and getting the same results you've been getting. Now, back to these hosting sites. I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great, but Stan Store is very expensive. Stan Store is $99 a month. That is very high if your business is not making that yet. If you are brand new to all of this, then Stan Store is not for you. Cross it out. Nope, cross it out. Instead, I want you to go on Gumroad, Gumroad, because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you don't have to spend it. That is a great place to start. Now, what I know about you is this: you are going to make money. How the hell do I know that? Because you're taking notes, you're asking questions, and most importantly, you promised you were going to execute. So when you do start generating income, then I want you to transfer everything up to Stan Store later. Because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business, like Afterpay and Klarna. Ladies, let me tell you what's going on in the world of finance today, in case you didn't know. Buy now, pay later, taking over. Buy now, pay later. So you got Afterpay, you got Klarna, you got Affirm, you got Sezzle, you got QuadPay, you got ZipPay, PayPal has something. There's so many. Buy now, pay later is the preferred payment option today. People are using it more than credit cards. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? Why do you think they put it on Uber Eats? Because that's what people are using. And no, it is not poor people. So get that out your head. 6-figure earners are using buy now, pay later options too. It is truly the preferred payment option. So if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. Yes, you will. But for now, you will start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad. You will start building your business and making your money. And then you will transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Okay? All right. Now, what we just did was we just made the ebook. That's what we did. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together, we made it, and then we uploaded it to our hosting site. Well, now we have to sell it. Gotta sell it. I'm gonna teach you how to sell. And I gotta be honest with you, sales is 80% of the business. Sales is 80% of the business, which means we gotta get this right or there will not be a business, okay? But what happens if they don't Pay later. That's not, that doesn't have anything to do with you. So real quick, the question was, what happens if they don't pay later? That doesn't have anything to do with you, because you get your money up front. You get your money up front. That is now an issue between Afterpay and the customer. That has nothing to do with you. You get your money, Afterpay, Klarna, whoever, they pay you up front. So you get yours. And then now they owe the buy now, pay later option. They don't owe you. Okay? Good question. Good question. Okay? So we got to get sales right. Sales is 80% of the business, or there will not be a business. And yes, I'm going to teach you how to sell. But before we get into sales, I do need to make something crystal clear to you. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook, that process we just did, that should not take you longer than 2 hours to do. Respectfully, it shouldn't take you longer than 1. But I will give you grace, and I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2 hours. And I don't care how old you are. On this live, age ain't nothing but a number. I don't give a damn. Because what you're not going to do is try to convince me that it takes longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words. No, it does not. You copy and paste links to reels in the group chats all day. So I know for a fact you know how to copy and paste. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words, we have a serious problem that you and I have got to fix today. One of the problems that you might be experiencing, and I used to be guilty of this too, this is how I know. You're a perfectionist, right? So that means that everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You are the woman. You are the woman who's going to waste 6 months of her life that she will never ever get back just to second guess her greatness and her brilliant idea. Then when you do decide to get started, you're going to take things out, put things back, get irritated and frustrated because it's still not right. You're going to have OCD and you're going to give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you never get back just to overthink your $1 million idea again. And when you do decide to restart and reset a 3rd time, this time you're going to go ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're asking, they don't even run businesses. These aren't even people that you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much what people think about you. And then when they do give you their opinion, you listen. And you care. Next thing you know, an entire year has gone by. And you haven't done shit but waste more of your precious, valuable time that you will never get back. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. You poor thing. Listen, I've been there, I've done that. I know. I'm here. I know. I'm going to hold your hand very tightly when I say this to you. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes that's just what I do best. I'm saying this out of love. Ma'am, you are not perfect at all. I am not perfect at all. Nobody is perfect at all. What you really are is scary as hell. You are still living in fear. And what do we say? Fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run. And that's what you've been doing. You have been sitting on this brilliant idea for years because you are so fearful of looking stupid. You are so fearful of people talking about you. You are so fearful of failing. And all of this fear that you refuse to let go of is stealing your dream life from you. It is stealing it. Because let's be real, you've already tried to manifest. You've already prayed about it. God heard you loud and clear. You know exactly what you want for your life. You know what kind of cars you want to drive. You know what side of town you want to live on. You know what kind of vacations you want to take your family on. And you know how much money you want in that savings account. And most importantly, you know how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of the things. But every day that you do not live that life is another day that you could have, but you made the choice to let fear steal it from you. And if you want to dig even deeper into why we hold on to all of this fear in the first place, it's because we are self-sabotaging. That's what all of this is. All of this is self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. This is self-inflicted. This is not marital sabotage. No, don't blame your husband. Don't blame your husband. This is not group sabotage. No, it's not. This is self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. We're going to put the blame on us. You can't control other people, but you can control yourself and the things that you do. You are self-sabotaging. And the reason why we self-sabotage in the first place is because we have fragile egos. You ain't got your ego in check. Nope, it's fragile as hell. And you are so afraid of disappointing yourself. So you will self-sabotage to avoid feeling disappointed if you do the things and it doesn't work. That feeling of disappointment scares the shit out of you. So you will self-sabotage to avoid feeling disappointed if you don't get the results that you want. So you'll self-sabotage by saying, I'm too busy. You're not too fucking busy. Let's be real. You're scared of disappointing yourself if it doesn't work. So you will believe the narrative of I'm too busy, because if you let go of that excuse and you actually do the things, you'll actually get the results that you want. But you're afraid to disappoint yourself, so you'll just say, I'm too busy. No, you're not. No, you're not. You'll self-sabotage by continuing to be in toxic relationships, because if you let go of those toxic ass people, let me tell you what's really gonna happen. You're gonna build your confidence, you're gonna have the time to get the things done, and you'll actually get the results that you want. But you're terrified of being disappointed if it doesn't work, so you'll hold on to these toxic relationships and say, well, that's my best friend for 20 years. I can't stop being her friend. That's my boyfriend. Even though he calls me names, even though he doesn't support me, that's my boyfriend. That's my husband. Thank you, Orville. So you self-sabotage. This is all self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. But I am so confused, because earlier you said that you hate your job. Earlier you said that you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Earlier you said that you were tired of giving up on yourself and not having confidence. Those are the things that you said. But every day that we live like that, we are still living in disappointment, because there are still things about our life that we are not 1000% happy with. I am trying to help you fix it, but we cannot fix it if we do not change. We have to change. How can we bring more money into the household and stop living paycheck to paycheck if we don't have any products to sell? How can customers give us their money and buy our stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. It ain't gonna happen. How can we build our confidence if we keep breaking the promises that we make to ourselves? We can't. It's not gonna happen. So, you are going to have to launch the product as is, because it will never, ever, ever, ever be perfect. I don't care if you spend 20 more years on it. It will still not be perfect. There will still be things wrong. So stop wasting your precious, valuable time and launch as is, and understand and understand that the longer you do something, the better you get. The more content you put out, the better the content will get. The more products you drop, the better your products will get. The longer you run your business, the better the business will get. But it will still never be perfect. All of your favorite businesses that you spend your hard-earned money on today have gotten better along the way. Look at Netflix. Netflix today is a $1 billion company, but it was not always. Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. They were not always doing comedy specials with Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart. They damn sure didn't have their own production company making movies and TV shows that are now winning Emmys and Oscars today. And they damn sure didn't always have wrestling on pay-per-view. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go on their website, Netflix.com. You used to have to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. And these were not their originals. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD off of that list. You could watch it as many times as you wanted. And when you were ready for the next movie, you had to mail that one back. They didn't wait to have all the money to afford the fanciest software. They launched with what they had. And as they continued to show up, as they continued to grow their business, as they continued to get more customers, then they decided to invest back into the business and make it better. But it's still not perfect. We all got complaints. We all say they ain't shit on there, even though there's a whole bunch of movies on there, it's still not anything on there. We all say that. So it's still not perfect. So I don't know why your ego believes that you can skip the messy middle, but we're gonna have to reel that ego on in. If a $1 billion business had to have a messy middle, so do you. So do you, ma'am. So get that out your head. Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you're distracted as fuck. Listen, I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have accepted that. And that's okay, because I'm not here to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm here to help a particular woman who actually wants to change her life for real, not for play, but for real. And in order to change your life, I gotta tell you the truth about you, because you have to become self-aware. That's the only way you're gonna change. You have to have self-awareness. And some of y'all don't have it. So I'm gonna tell you the truth about you. See, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally have some confidence and self-love and self-respect, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. Late at night, when your children are asleep. You could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself so you can finally have some confidence and self-respect and self-love. But again, you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll social media for hours, laughing at funny videos and sharing them back and forth in the group chats. And the reason why we hold on to all of these distractions like social media, gambling, alcohol, all these distractions that we hold on to, the reason why we hold on to them is because we are trying to escape. That's what all this is. This is escapism. Thank you, Journey. And the reason why we are trying to escape is because there are things about our life that we are not 1000% happy with. And instead of us being a grown woman and fixing it, we choose to run from it. But let me ask you, is that working? Just be honest. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Is what you're doing truly working? Do you wake up every day happy to start the day, or do you drag yourself out of bed saying things like, let's do this shit again? Let's just be real. Are you happy with the results that you're getting? Because if the answer is no, then that means it's time to change. The definition of insanity is doing the same exact thing every single day and expecting different results. You're not gonna get different results until you do different things. So if you're not happy, if you're not getting the results that you want in your life, then it's time to do something different today. Instead of trying to escape a life that you are not 1000% happy with, what if we just lock in and build a life that you never feel the need to escape from? Oh, yeah. So this is what we're gonna do today. Today, you are gonna turn the TV off. Put your phone on do not disturb. Tell your friends you will talk to them later. You are building your dream life. You're gonna sit down at home. No, you don't need to go to Starbucks because let's be real, you get distracted there. You're gonna start your product and you're gonna finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week because we already know you're not coming back. You never do. You're gonna start it and you're gonna finish it. 2 hours is all you need. Thank you, Jess. If we are crystal clear, on all of those instructions, go ahead and put clear in the chat because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if you don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. Happy Thursday. We are building our online business. Make sure you guys follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe so you do not lose my channel. Now, I told you guys earlier, sales is 80% of the business. That's more than half. So we got to get this right or there won't be a business. But I also have to tell you the truth. Sales is where most people fail. They fail at sales. And before you start freaking out and saying things, it's because sales is so hard. No, it's not. Sales is actually very, very, very easy. But people's mindset and the things that they think in regards to sales is what makes sales so hard for them. So in order to actually sell something, we have to first fix our mindset and our headspace around sales. See, some of y'all, and I used to be guilty of all this too, this is how I know. Some of y'all say things to yourself like, well, Jazz, I'm not a salesperson. What if I talk about my product too much and people unfollow me? What if people think I'm annoying? What if people think I'm begging them for money? Let's go ahead and address all of that. First of all, selling is not begging. That's number one. Selling is solving, okay? People have a problem and you have a solution. You are not begging anyone for anything. So get that out your head right now. Number two, you do not have a choice but to remind people consistently about your products and services and how you can help them because people are forgetful as hell and they will forget. Ladies, people are living their own lives. Life is lifing and stress is stressing for everybody. And on top of that, they are being bombarded with content from the time they log into the apps till the time they log out. You have to remind people that you exist and how you can help them so they can even begin to remember. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to take notes on this live? Because I already know you're a human and you are going to forget. We all do. Why do you think I keep reminding you that the key word of this live is execution? You have heard me say that word over and over and over again so far. Why do I keep repeating myself? Because psychology has already proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks. You have to remind people that you exist if you even want them to begin to remember who you are. You do not have a choice. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are. We all got the memo. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we spend a monthly subscription every single month to utilize 2-day, 1-day, and same-day shipping. So even though everyone knows who they are, and most of us spend money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently that they exist. How? Look at their Amazon trucks. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one of their big ass blue trucks. They didn't have to paint them blue. They didn't have to put their logo on the trucks, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every single time you see one of their trucks, which is multiple times a day, your brain remembers Amazon. You can't even go down a neighborhood or enter into a mailroom without seeing Amazon packages everywhere. They didn't have to put their logo on them cardboard boxes. They could have left them blank, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every single time you see one of their packages, which is multiple times a day, your brain remembers Amazon. Now let me ask you, do you really think they are worried about being annoying? Do you really think they think that you think that they're begging you for money? Do you really think that they're worried about you unsubscribing from Prime because they're talking about Amazon too much? Let's just be real. Girl, please. No. Why? Because they know they have a solution to your problem. You're lazy and you want convenience. We all do. So every day, they will continue to remind you that they exist, and every month you will spend your hard-earned money with them. True or false? You're not going nowhere. For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not a new face to you. I have been doing this for 6 years. You might have found me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. I am all over the internet. How is it that I am able to show up consistently and talk about Glow Up Academy and not worry about people thinking I'm begging them for money or being annoying or people unfollowing me because I'm talking about Glow Up Academy too much? How am I able to do that? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. People want to become more confident in themselves and actually keep the promises that they make to themselves. I work with them every single day so they actually get it done inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to learn how to follow through and be disciplined and accountable so they actually get the results that they want. I work with them step by step every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to build their online business. They actually want to make money. I teach them that and work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. If people think I'm begging them for money, I don't care because I know I get people results. If people unfollow me or unsubscribe because I'm talking about Glow Up Academy too much, that's fine. They just weren't ready to glow up. They are happy with the results that they are getting. And when they hit a brick wall and they're tired of their own BS, they will come back. They always do. And since I have that energy about my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy about their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you are going to have the same energy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 1. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat if you are ready for sales tip number 1. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz, and we are building our online business from scratch. Real quick, I do want to address the elephant in the room, which is failing. A lot of you guys have amazing ideas, and you are more than capable of achieving those ideas. But you are terrified of starting because you are terrified of failing. And that word failing has you in a chokehold. But what if I told you that a lot of you are very confused as to what failing even means? So let me go ahead and confuse you. Some of y'all think failing means you make your first YouTube video, and if you don't get 50,000 subscribers in 7 days, then you failed. Some of y'all really believe that if you launch your first ebook and you're not a millionaire by the end of the month, then you failed. Some of y'all really are out here thinking that if you post on TikTok for 7 days and you don't get 10,000 views on each video in 7 days, then you failed. But what if I told you that's not failing? Failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. Well, then guess what? That is when you have officially failed. But if every single day or every other day, you just commit to showing up, doing something a little bit different, keeping going, that's not failing because you are still showing up. Maybe yesterday you thought about making content. How about today you actually record a 20-second video? Maybe yesterday you thought about starting a business. How about today you finish the ebook? Maybe yesterday you thought about moving your body and getting active. How about today you walk 5K steps? If every single day you just commit to doing something, whether it's 20 minutes, an hour, I don't give a damn, something towards the goal, then that is not failing because you are still showing up. See, the truth, the problem with you is you are entitled as hell. You have so much entitlement, it is running through the blood. And you have been entitled for so long that you don't even realize how entitled you really are. See, what you have done is you have committed to a bizarre timeline in which you feel that you should deserve the results because you said so. So you have convinced yourself that it only takes 30 days to be a millionaire. And you have become so entitled to that time frame that if you don't get to millionaire status in 30 days, then you really believe that you failed. But my first question to you is, who the hell told you that it only takes 30 days to make $1 million? Who told you that? Where did you get that from? Who on these online streets told you that you can make $50,000 in a week? Who told you that? Who told you that? And if someone did you do it? No, you didn't, because it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. They are lying to you. The reason why people fail at things is because they have become entitled to the results in the time frame in which they believe they should have them. But the results always come. They always come. Ladies, I lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds, that's a whole freaking person. For anyone who has lost weight, I don't care how much weight you lost, you already know this is true. If you just keep eating less food and you just keep moving your body, if you just let go of the excuses, don't you eventually get to the goal weight that you always wanted? You do. See, some people will try to fight it and say, no, it's hormones. No, it's my thyroid. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And this is coming from a woman who has thyroid problems. I have a thyroid issue. It's not any of that. It's literally how much you eat versus how much you burn. And when you finally accept that and you just keep showing up, you eventually get to your weight loss goals. You want to know why most people don't get to their weight loss goals? You want to know the real truth? It's because they quit, because they felt entitled to losing 50 pounds in 5 days. And because they didn't lose the 50 pounds in 5 days, they give up. That's the truth. So why would business be any different? It's not. Whatever dollar amount, whatever follower count, whatever subscriber count you want for yourself, you will get it, but do not quit. So for anyone on this live who is terrified of failing, just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you didn't fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. I cannot make this up. Okay? Okay. Yes, stay focused on the goal and consistently. Absolutely. I cannot make this up. Same thing for school. For those of you guys who want to go to school. If you just keep going to class and you just keep doing the homework, don't you eventually get the degree? Yes. Yes, you do. You gonna get it. Same thing. Same thing. Okay? All right. Sales tip number 1, write this down. Content is king and distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. So let's break this down so it makes sense. Let's start with the content is king part, okay? Now, for those of you guys who do not know, content is anything that you upload to social media. So whether that's pictures, reels, if you go live, long form YouTube videos, anything that you upload is considered content. Now, content is king because we have to remind people consistently about our products and services and how we can help them. Because remember, people are going to forget. They always do. So we have to be consistent. Now, for those of you guys who are not posting content yet, one thing I want to stress the importance to you is not feeling overwhelmed. The minute you start to feel overwhelmed about anything, you freeze because in your head, you have this long list of to-dos and you're not too sure where to start, and then you just freeze and you don't do anything. So I want you to write this down. We crawl before we walk and we walk before we run. I want you to stop having an all or nothing mindset because that's what makes you feel overwhelmed. We're not doing all or nothing anymore. Maybe you don't have 2 hours a day to work on your business. Fine. But you do have 20 minutes. Yes, you do. So you will use those 20 minutes that you do have. Okay? We crawl before we walk and we walk before we run. So maybe you're not posting content at all right now yet because you're camera shy. Okay. So first what we're going to do is get out of the camera shyness. What I want you to start doing today is I want you to start recording yourself 30 seconds at a time, 5 minutes at a time. And don't tell me you don't have time, because the time that you were spending scrolling, you could be doing this exercise. And I want you to do this multiple times a day. This is not to post. This is just for you. The more you get in front of the camera, the more you talk to the camera, the more you do things in front of the camera, the less shy you get, the less cringe and awkward you feel. Okay? Once you get to the point where you are no longer camera shy because you're doing this exercise multiple times a day, every single day, now we're going to commit to posting just one 20-second TikTok reel a week. Just one. Once you get comfortable and consistent with posting once a week, now we're going to up it to 2. Then we're going to up it to 3. Okay, this is how we crawl before we walk and walk before we run. Because if I can keep you from feeling overwhelmed, you're going to do it. Because now you don't feel stressed. Okay. Now, the distribution is queen part. Not only are we going to post content consistently, we also need to be building at least 3 platforms. Why 3? Because 1 is too close to none. Just like that one income you have. If they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? You would be freaking out, trying to figure out how you're going to pay your bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and the US decides to ban it, what would you do? Think you lost like they did last year, what would you do? You would be freaking out like all of the other TikTokers who only had a TikTok account. I teach my students that we have to stay proactive so we are not reactive. In other words, we have to stay ready. And no, it's not hard to build 3. It's really not. Get out your head. Because the same exact video that you post on TikTok, you will throw it on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, all right? It takes an extra 5 minutes. I do it all day. I promise you it is not hard. Now, which platform should you grow? That's up to you. You got a lot of options. I always suggest starting with the platform that you are always on. So if you find yourself always on TikTok, start TikTok. Obviously, you like this app so much because you're always here, and then just choose 2 more. But I am going to let you know this in case you did not know. YouTube is the most watched platform. It is not TikTok. It is not Instagram. It is YouTube. YouTube has even replaced cable TV. So I am going to always urge and encourage my students to start their YouTube channel. If everybody is watching YouTube, why are you not on YouTube? Make it make sense. I love YouTube, and YouTube is actually where I started. So start your YouTube channel, okay? Now, before we even get into sales tip number 2, I do want to talk to the woman on this live. I started on YouTube and Instagram. YouTube and Instagram. I just got on TikTok last year. I do want to talk to the woman on this live who's living in fear. She knows who she is. She's quiet. She ain't saying too much. And we already said fear on this live stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what she's about to do. She's about to run her brilliant idea. She's taking her notes, but in the back of her head, she's like, Jazz, what did I get myself into? I'm glad I found you. You came right on time, but I don't know. I would love to start an online business, but a lot of this just sounds really hard. You're telling me to post consistently. You're telling me to make my own ebook. And then you're telling me to build 3 platforms? Jazz, I don't know. And honestly, I just don't think I can. Okay. Well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, just listen to me. The first thing I want you to understand is this. I can't convince you of anything. I don't have the power to. So I'm not going to try. If you want to believe that posting consistently is hard, then fine. Your feelings are valid. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that having AI write your ebook for you is hard, then fine. You're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, then okay. Your feelings are valid. It's hard. But I do want to remind you that the life you're currently living is hard. Crying every day because you are unhappy with the way things are going for you right now. That's hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit, overworks you, and underpays you every single day is hard. That's hard. Knowing deep down in your spirit, deep down in your soul, that you were meant for something better, something bigger, and still not living it is hard. That is very hard. And you live like that every single day. And that's what fear will do. That right there. And you let it. Fear will convince you that you can't do any of this. But look at what you are already doing that's 1,000 times harder. One thing I've noticed that us women do, and I used to be guilty of this too, we have a toxic tendency to never, ever, ever give ourselves credit where credit is due. Because let's be real, life's for everybody. Stress is for everybody. Nobody has the perfect life. We all go through challenges and setbacks. And in our darkest moments, we had no clue how we were going to overcome it. But guess what? We did. Because we're still here today. But you never want to give yourself credit for that. When was the last time you told yourself that you're proud of you? I don't have to convince you of how strong and resilient you are because you have already proven that to be true in your own life. You've already had moments that were dark as hell and you had no clue how you were going to get through it, but you did. You did. because you're still here today. I remember when I lost my grandma, my whole world turned upside down. She pretty much raised me. She was, man, I will never forget my grandma. And when I went off to college, I used to call her 3 and 4 times a day just to tell her about my class and this and that. I missed her so much when I was gone. And a year after I graduated, she died. And I had no idea how I was going to overcome it. And she's actually the first person I had lost in my life that was close to me. I had never experienced grief before. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to live life without her? She was my rock. And here I am, 10 years later, still living without her. Still showing up. We've all had really dark times. But you have already proven to yourself how strong you are. You've already proven to yourself how resilient you are. But you never want to give yourself credit for that. But then you're going to sit here and let fear convince you that you're not capable of copying some words that AI wrote for you and pasting it into a Canva template. Really, ladies? Really? That's what we're doing? You're going to let fear convince you, everything that you've overcome, you're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the abilities to take a reel that you posted on TikTok and posted on Instagram and Facebook. Really? That's what we're doing? That's what we're going to do this morning? Are you serious right now? That's what we're doing. You're going to let fear convince you that you don't have the ability to show up and build your online business when you're already going to a job that you absolutely hate every single day? Really? And this is why I keep stressing the importance of building our freaking confidence. Because our confidence has gotten so low that you don't even believe that you can do these things, and look at what you are already doing every single day. And the reason why we lack confidence is because we never keep the promises that we make to ourselves. And over time, that erodes your confidence. That's what tears you down the most. I don't have to convince you of this because you can see this for yourself. You see people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up, building their business. There are women on these apps with more children than you. You see it for yourself. And they are still showing up, building their business. You see people on these apps who have worse health conditions than you. And they are still showing up, building their business. You see people on these apps who are in their darkest moments right now. They lost their job. They might have got evicted. Their house might have got foreclosed on. They're living in their car right now. And despite that, they are still showing up, building their business. Now let's just go ahead and be real for a second. Some of y'all don't have half those problems. Some of y'all might, and I'm gonna give you some grace. But some of y'all don't. Some of y'all are sitting pretty right now. You got some complaints. Life isn't perfect. There are things that you want to improve on, okay, but deep down inside, you already know it could be 10 times worse. So what's your excuse? What is your excuse? You don't have one. That's the truth. You really don't have one. You can do this. There is nothing that I have said to you this morning that is out of reach for you. And I don't care how old you are. You can do this. But in order to do this, you are going to have to let fear go, because fear is stealing your dream life from you every single day. Yes, anywhere there's internet, Vanessa, absolutely. Fear is stealing your dream life from you every single day. And listen, my online business changed my whole life. I can't make this up. I started during COVID 6 years ago. Made more money than I could have ever imagined from my cell phone, my laptop, and some Wi-Fi. I now have peace. I'm not stressing about how I'm gonna pay my bills no more. You can't even put a price tag on that. I have freedom now. I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I have purpose now. I get to wake up every single day doing what I love. I'm no longer dragging myself out of bed, saying things like, let's do this shit again. Not no more. I have happiness now. I have confidence now. But before all of this, before COVID, I lived a completely different life. I used to be extremely depressed, miserable as hell, extremely insecure, cared way too much about what people thought about me. I used to work a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated. I used to be 100 pounds overweight. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I had bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell all of us, but I bought in back in high school. They told me to go to college and get a 4-year bachelor's degree, and that when I graduated, I'd be able to find a good job with benefits and stability and make enough money a year to where I could afford to take a couple vacations a year. I'd be able to put extra money into my 401k, so when I get too old to work, I'll be able to retire with dignity and live out the rest of my years in peace. That's what they said. So I bought in. I said, okay, let's do this whole college thing. Graduated high school, went off to college. My mom told me to go. All of my friends went. I went too. And I did the whole experience. Stayed in the dorms, lived an hour away from home. I did all of the things. Graduated 4 years later, got my bachelor's degree. That degree cost me $40,000. Moved back home. 6 months later, I got my first full-time job with benefits. See, I came from fast food. So they were offering me $60,000 a year. At 23 years old, that's more money than I had ever made in my entire life. I literally thought I was about to be rich, and I didn't have any kids. So I was so excited to start my American dream. So I decided to move out of my mom's house. I was sick of her rules. We were arguing all the time. I was like, you know what? I got a good job. I got a good job now. I'm gonna get my own place. So that's what I did. Went out and got my own apartment. Didn't stop there. I did what most Americans do. I got me a car payment. See, I already had a car, and my car was paid off, title in hand. But it was old. It got me from point A, B, C, D, E, and F. There was nothing wrong with the car, but it was old. No leather seats, no push to start, no tablet on the dash. See, I had to upgrade to match my new upgraded life. I had to get a car that matched the job, right? Duh. So I went out and got a brand new Dodge Charger. My mom told me not to do it. My grandma told me not to do it, but what do they know? I did it. That car cost me $450 a month. And we all know with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time I paid all my bills for the month, your girl was broke. Every syllable of the word broke. There were no vacations. I couldn't afford to take a fucking vacation. Excuse my French. I couldn't put extra money into my 401k. That didn't exist. I was broke. I could barely afford to eat. That's how broke I was, okay? But I had another problem. I had to start paying back them student loans. See, at 23, I didn't think the government was serious about getting their money back for them student loans because everybody has college debt, right? Isn't that the American way? Girl, The government is not playing with you when it comes to those student loans. They will give you 6 months after you graduate to get on your feet. They won't call, they won't send letters, they want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe once that 6-month mark hits, they're sending letters to your house because here's the kicker, they're gonna tell you how much you can afford. They wanna see them tax returns. And since they saw on paper that I made $60,000 a year, I didn't have any kids, no dependents, they said I should be able to pay $400 a month. I'm like, $400? What? My friends, they're only paying $50 a month. Why I gotta pay $400? Because I don't qualify for the repayment plan. I make too much. The income-driven plan makes too much. That's the problem with middle class. See, they don't tell you that. See, when you're middle class, you don't qualify for any type of assistance. You're actually more broke than poor people. That's the middle class trap. I had 11 student loans that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every single month that I did not pay those student loans, which was every month because I genuinely couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments on my credit. In the course of 1 year, I cannot make this up, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit was shot. 520. So my American dreams of home ownership, that won't gonna happen for me no time soon. Who gonna give me a mortgage loan with a 520 credit score? Not until I fix that. So I'm broke as hell and I have really bad credit. I had one last problem to top it all off. I hated my job. Nowhere in the American dream blueprint did they tell me I would be miserable at my 9 to 5. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I grew up very sheltered, okay? And in my early 20s, your girl was naive as hell. I believed everything people told me because back then, I didn't think people had a reason to lie. If they tell you they like you, I believe them. See, when I went into the interview, my manager, my supervisor, she told me that even though the department was all women, they all got along. There was no drama, no chaos, and they were all one big happy work family. So I went into that department thinking that. Naive as hell. I learned in corporate America, people are fake as fuck. And you gotta watch them because they're slick with it. You gotta watch them. See, they will smile in your face and they'll sit with you in the break room. They'll kiki and caca with you, but that's not your friend. Don't get confused. They'll even hang out with you off the clock. So they're not even getting paid to be around you, but they still choose to be around you. So they'll invite you to happy hour. They'll invite you to their house. They'll even invite you to their weddings and their baby showers. But you gotta watch them. That's not your friend. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So when it's your birthday, they all come together and contribute to buying you a gift with their money. They will even cook for you. So for Thanksgiving, we're doing Thanksgiving potlucks in the break room. It's crazy, but they don't like you. You gotta watch them because best believe, the minute you piss someone off, the right person, they will make sure that every day you work there is the worst day of your life. They will do it. I made friends with a woman who was 31. I was 23, and she told me, this was her words, I was the little sister that she never had. And me being naive, I believed her. So I felt like I could tell her things because she's older than me, she's my big sister. We did everything together, even off the clock. And when we both were trying to put in for a promotion, she decided to tell my manager everything that I told her in confidence. It's my fault, I walked into it, I ain't know no better. It is what it is. My life was a living nightmare. I was on the most hated list at work, and everyone decided to make every single day of my life in that department a living hell. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands of applications trying to get a new job. I couldn't even get an interview. Nobody was calling me back. So I'm broke, I have bad credit, and I hate my freaking job. For the first time in my life, at 24 years old, I felt trapped. If you have never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, then I want you to consider yourself extremely blessed. I wouldn't wish that feeling of trapped on my worst enemy. But let me give you some context. See, trapped feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how trapped feels. You can try to be optimistic and be positive, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day. That's how trapped feels. You can try to make some extra money, work some overtime, get a part-time job so you can catch up on some bills and stop being so damn stressed about money. But just when you start to have a little bit of a savings account, something always comes and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you got to dish out money for that. It's always something. You can try to pray about it, but it begins to feel like God's not listening to you because you still wake up with the same problems every day. It begins to feel like he's ignoring you. That's how trapped feels. Your life begins to feel like a nightmare that you can't wake up from. And I lived like that for 6 years. I used to sit in my car and cry before I even went in to clock in every single day. I started to bring that job home with me. You ever did that? So what that means is you have clocked out, you are at home, you should be at peace because you're not at work, but you can't stop replaying all the toxic things they said to you. And now you're telling your spouse about everything that they're doing at work all night long. These people are living in your head rent-free and you cannot escape them. They have stolen your peace. I got so stressed out about bills, I couldn't even sleep anymore. I started to have anxiety, butterflies in my stomach that I can't get rid of. I became paranoid. I really thought they were trying to fire me every single day. And to cope with all of my misery and my depression and my stress, I started drinking. At first, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves, but that quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story, any of it, is resonating with you, you are already doing something hard. Crying every day because you are so miserable right now is hard. Dragging yourself to a job that you absolutely hate is hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. I didn't have any hobbies and I didn't have any interests back then. My life began to feel like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat, week after week, month after month, and year after year. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me because I was depressed with my life. But anyone would be depressed. That is depressing. To not have something to look forward to every day is depressing. No, ladies, there is nothing wrong with you. Yes, that is depressing. It is extremely depressing. But now I get to wake up every single day doing what I love to do. And that is the beauty of online businesses. You can monetize anything. No, your idea is not stupid. No, your idea is not far-fetched. You see the darndest things online. I don't have to convince you of this. How many times have you scrolled on your For You page and saw the darndest things and you're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out how the hell are they getting paid to do that? I'm gonna tell you how. You wanna know how? Because they let go of fear and you still hold on to it. That's how. And I want to say one more thing before we move forward, because I need to make sure you hear me loud and clear. If you work 40 hours a week or more, I hope you realize you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your family who loves the hell out of you. See, I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have been a 20-minute drive into the city is over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back, 2 hours in the car, 8 hours at work, 1 hour lunch break. That's 11 hours out of my day gone. By the time I do get home, I am drained. I am defeated. I am exhausted. You only have a few hours to spend with your spouse and your children before you have to put everyone to bed just to repeat it again the next day. And let's be clear, your loved ones, they don't even get the best version of you. They don't get the happy version of you. They don't get to experience the peaceful version of you. They don't get to experience the happy version of you. They get the depressed version of you. They get the anxious version of you. They get the stressed version of you. That's what they get. You put everyone to bed just to repeat it again the next day, just to look forward to the weekend. But respectfully, what the hell are you even looking forward to? Because Friday you still worked. So they still got 8 hours out you. Saturday is the only day you get to really do what you want, but Sunday not so much because you have to prepare for the work week, right? So that means you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta go to the grocery store, you gotta do laundry, and then on top of that, you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that is not living. That is surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I do know this. The God I serve, he loves me, and he loves me a lot. Let me ask you, if he loves me so much, why would he put me on this earth to be hating the very life that he blessed me with? Why would he want me to do that? If he loved me so much, why would he have me on this earth crying and coping by drinking? That's not why he put me here. He put me here for a very, very special reason. And he allowed me the opportunity to find it. An online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. He put you here for a very special reason, too. You're important, too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job to make somebody else rich while you're counting pennies trying to make ends meet for you at home. There is something very, very, very special about you too. But the problem is life has a tendency to life. And somewhere on our journey of life, we lose our light. It gets dim. And then it gets dark. Maybe it was a toxic relationship, a toxic family member, toxic friends. In my case, it was a toxic job. And we lose our light. And then we begin to feel like there's nothing special about us and that we're not worthy of any of this. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. There is something very special about you too. If you even thought the thought, if you even had an idea that came to you, that's because you can. Those ideas that we get telling you to try this, do this today, what if you started this, that's God talking to you. That is God talking to you. And he wouldn't give you an idea if it wasn't something that you couldn't do. If it was truly something that you were not capable of doing, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind. God would never plant seeds in an environment that cannot harvest them. But it did cross your mind because you are capable of doing it. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of fear, because if you don't, Fear will continue to steal the life from you that you want. You already know what side of town you want to live on. You already know what kind of car you want to drive. You know what kind of vacation you want to take your family on. You know how much money you want in savings. And most importantly, you know how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of these things. God heard you loud and clear. But in order to get that, you're going to have to let go of fear. You can do this. Yes, you can. Okay? All right. No more fear. We're letting go of the fear. We can do this. Sales tip number 2. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. Make sure you follow me so you do not lose me. YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. They do steal my videos, you guys. They make fake accounts and then they turn around and message you. Do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok streets because they're coming for you. All right. Sales tip number 2, write this down. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So if they don't like you, you're not gonna buy it. If they do not know you, they're not gonna buy it. And if they don't trust you, they will not buy it. Thank you, Clara. So how do we get people to like us? Okay. You guys, you're gonna do this through your content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, your content is anything that you upload to social media. So your reels, pictures, long form YouTube videos, if you go live, all of that is content. And we're gonna get people to like us through our content by being relatable and being authentic. Okay, I want you guys to understand people connect with people through emotions. The problem is, a lot of you guys, and I used to struggle with this too, are trying to be perfect. You want to create perfect content, but you're actually doing yourself a disservice because nobody is perfect, so nobody can even relate to that. The community that you build, so your followers, your subscribers, your viewers, your commenters, the community, those are the people who are going to buy your products, okay? So we have to be relatable, we have to be authentic. In other words, we have to be ourselves. People resonate with people based off of if they can see themselves through you in some way, shape, or form, okay? And don't let fear take over and say things like, well, Jazz, what if no one likes me? That's impossible. That is impossible because there are 8 billion people in this world. Somebody is bound to like you. And listen, I used to be fearful of that too. You guys, when you post your content, it goes everywhere, everywhere. There is a whole world of people out there who need your help. You would be amazed at how many people you are able to motivate and inspire and change their lives, all because you decided to post your videos. I'm in the US. I have students inside Globe Academy from all over the world. From Germany, Australia, Jamaica, Canada, Barbados, Africa. I have been to none of those countries. I have been to none of those continents. But because I was myself, because I decided to post the content, I was able to help women and men from all over the place. What if I let fear take over this morning and I didn't go live? Thank you, Alice. Then those of you guys watching wouldn't have heard this and I wouldn't have been able to help you. But that's literally what you are doing to other people. You have the solution to their problems and they need you. So please get out of your head and post the videos, okay? Now we said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to know us? All right. I need you to go live. I need you to go live. And by the way, you guys, everything that we're talking about also applies to my ladies on here who want to be faceless creators, okay? Just because you faceless does not mean you get down to anything that we're talking about. You're doing all of the things too. You're just faceless, okay? And yes, you can go live and be faceless. Going live is the best way to build your community. Now, is it the only way? No, but it's the best way. Why? because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect with you and engage and interact, and it allows you to promote your products. I need you to go live. Now, some of y'all gonna be hard-headed and you're gonna say things like, Jazz, that's great, but I don't wanna go live. And I'm gonna just say, fine, don't. One thing I'm never gonna do is try to convince you to do anything you don't wanna do. If you don't want to go live, don't go live. But I am gonna remind you of something. You did say you didn't wanna go to work. That's what you said. You said you were tired of feeling overworked and underpaid, and you were tired of dragging yourself to a job that you absolutely hate. It amazes me how people are willing to bust their ass for 8 hours and 12 hours a day, sometimes even 16 hours a day, to build someone else's business and make them rich. But they absolutely refuse to sit on a live for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, to build wealth for themselves. That's amazing. I don't have to convince you because you see this on live. You see this all the time, especially on TikTok. You see creators all day and all night selling their products. True or false? True or false? The internet does not sleep. I don't care what time of day or night you go live. Just do it. Just do it. I promise you this. If you go live consistently and you have structure to your live, you will make more on live than you ever made at that job. Now, some of y'all are like, well, Jazz, I would go live. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For my ladies on here who are live shy or camera shy, or you're struggling with any type of shyness, listen, the only reason why you're shy is because you just don't have enough experience doing it. It's not because you suck at life. It's not because this isn't meant for you. You just don't have enough experience. Maybe you did it once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. We have been on this live for 112 minutes. And if you're still watching, one thing I know about people, it's because you trust what I'm saying to be true. Because if you didn't trust anything I was saying, and if you thought I was full of shit, you would have left. So I'm gonna need you to trust this. If you go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy. I don't have to convince you of this. You have proof in your own life. This is true. Anything that you do over and over and over again, you get better at. You did not always know how to walk, but now you walk just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You did not always know how to read and write. Now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You did not always know how to drive or do your job, but now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. So just imagine if you consistently went live. I can't make this up. No, she said, am I being ignored or flagged? For live? For live? Now we said people only buy people that they like, know, and trust. How do we get people to trust us? Okay. There's a reason why I'm telling you to post consistently. And no, it's not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock, but people work extremely hard for their money, okay? You work hard, I work hard, everybody is out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then that means you are going to have to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, okay? Now, I want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you, all right? First, what we must do is we got to remove the ego and the pride. Now, some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything. And there's nothing that anyone can teach you that you don't already know, and you're perfect as is. Fine. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Keep thinking that. Just know pride always comes before the fall. Now, for those of y'all who can remove ego and pride and you recognize that there's always room for growth, I am talking to you. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. We have to be honest with ourselves. Write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now be honest. Ask yourself, is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people? Also ask yourself this, take the emotions out of it. Just be real with yourself. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I say yet is because you can fix it. You have the power to fix it. So, fix it. If it's not clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people, fix it and make it clear so that when people go to your profile, they know exactly what they're getting into. They know what problems you can help them with. That's the beauty of life. That is the beauty of business. And that is the beauty of everything that we have talked about so far on this live. Anything, and I literally mean anything, that is not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. But I'm gonna be real with you. You make the choice every single day not to. I already know that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have accepted that. I already know I'm not the business coach for everybody, because one thing I've learned about people is most people aren't really looking for help. That's not what they're looking for. Most people are just looking for somebody that they can complain and vent to. But the minute that you present them with the solution to their problems, they lose interest because they weren't really looking to change anything. I'm not here for that shit. No, I'm not here for that. I am here to help the woman who actually wants to change her life, who actually recognizes that she has problems and that she wants to fix them. I'm not here to just listen to you complain and vent. So, if that's what you're looking for, go ahead and leave now. I'm not the coach for you, and I stand on that. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth about yourself. A lot of times, we are not self-aware, and self-awareness is key. But in order for you to be self-aware, I have to tell you what you're doing so that we can fix it. So I'm about to tell you the truth about yourself so that we can fix it. Anything, and I mean anything, that is not giving you the results that you want in your life, just fix it. Just fix it. So if you are live shy or camera shy, fix it. I already told you how. Start going live consistently. Start being in front of the camera consistently, because I said to you, the things that you do over and over again, you get better at. But even though I gave you the exact solution to fix the problem that you have, most of you are still not gonna do it. And then you're gonna have the audacity to sit there and complain about the fact that you're camera shy and live shy. Well, at that point, it's a choice. It's a choice, because I told you exactly how to fix it, and you made the choice not to. If you are lacking confidence, meaning you don't believe in yourself, you care too much about what people think about you, fix it. I already told you how. Start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. If you told yourself that you were going to start a business, then start the damn business. If you told yourself that you were going to start posting content, then post the content. If you told yourself that you were gonna lose weight, then lose it. If you told yourself that you were gonna end the toxic relationship, then end it. But even though I gave you the exact solution to build up your confidence, Some of you guys, most of you guys are still not going to do it. And then you're going to have the audacity to sit there and complain about why you're so insecure. Well, you're insecure because you choose to be, because you refuse to keep the promises that you make to yourself. That is a choice. And that is the real truth. Every day you have a choice. You can choose to keep doing what you've been doing, or you can choose to do something a little bit different. But unfortunately, most people choose the path of least resistance. Most people choose to stay in their comfort zone because their comfort zone is what they know. That's what they've been doing for years and decades. Your comfort zone is the routines and the habits that you currently have. So if you are someone who sits on social media, that's your comfort zone. That's what you continue to do every single day. If you are someone who loves to drink, that is your comfort zone. That's what you choose to do every day or every other day, whatever it is. If you are someone who loves to gamble, that's your comfort zone. That's the thing that you are always doing. That's the path of least resistance. That's what you're most familiar with. But in order to change your life, in order to get the results that you want, it is going to require you to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone of yours and do something different. And most people won't do that. Even though that comfort zone of yours that you have been staying in for years is draining you. Even though that comfort zone that you have been staying in for years is keeping you stressed, it is depressing you, it is keeping you broke, it is keeping you miserable and insecure, most people will still rather do that because that is the path of least resistance. Even though it's not giving them the results that they want, that's what they would rather do. And then they want to sit there and complain about it too. It makes no sense, but that's what people do. That's what people do. There is no growth in that comfort zone. The results that you want, whatever the goals that you have for your life, you're not going to get them in that comfort zone. No, you're not. It's not going to be there. You are going to have to take a half an inch out. And the reason why people struggle with taking a half an inch out is because it's going to require you to get a little uncomfortable. People like comfort, so they keep doing what they've been doing, even though it's not getting them the results that they want. A lot of people have a trapped mindset, and that might be you. And you've been living in this trapped mindset for so long that you don't even recognize that you're living in a trapped mindset. And you truly believe deep down in your soul that how things are today is how it's going to always be, and you do not have the ability to fix it. You believe that these are the cards that you were dealt, and there's nothing that you can do to change your life. And then the sad part is, listen to this, this is the kicker, we attract what we are. And we tend to attract people who are just like us. So a lot of times, your friends and your family, your boyfriends, your husbands, you all have similar mindsets. So if you have a trapped mindset, what you have done is surround yourself with other trapped mindset people. And so the advice that you seek out is just from other trapped mindset people. It's a whole bunch of trapped people thinking the same things. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind. But I'm here to tell you, you are not trapped. And you have options. And you can change your life. You are not trapped. I used to believe I was trapped too. I really used to believe I was trapped at that 9-to-5 that I hated so much. I believed that with my soul, and you couldn't convince me otherwise. And the sad part is, I was around other people who also hated their job. So it was just a whole bunch of us trapped mindset people just talking about how miserable we are at this job and believing that there is nothing we can do to get out of it. But that's not true. I was never trapped at that job. That job was my comfort zone. Even though it was draining me and making me miserable and depressed, that was my comfort zone. That was the routine and habit that I had for 6 years. That was my comfort zone, the path of least resistance. Even though I was miserable, I never wanted to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something different. I had options. Everybody has options. The options that you might have may not be the most ideal. It may not be what you want to do, but it's only temporary. It's never forever. It's just a stepping stone to get you to the next part of your life. I had options. I did not have to stay at that job. See, I could have moved back home. I had that option. Even today, if shit goes bad, I can still move back home. I have that option, but I didn't want to. I could have quit the job and just moved back home and lived with my mom until I found something else. But then, oh God, that would require me to move back home. Ugh, who wants to do that? Even though that job was making me miserable, even though that job was making me cry every day, I still chose to stay in my comfort zone than do something a little bit different and move back home temporarily. I was never trapped at that job. I could have quit that job and just got some some part-time jobs until I found my next full-time job. So I could have maybe worked some fast food restaurants until I found another full-time job. I could have went and worked in retail until I found another full-time job. But oh God, I didn't want to go back to fast food. Oh gosh, no. What if they require me to work nights? No, because I have to work 9 to 5. That's the status quo. 9 to 5 is the dream. Even though that dream is making me miserable, I still chose to stay there. What if I work retail and they tell me I gotta work holidays? Oh, no. Ugh. I'm not working holidays. What? So, let me get this straight. I would rather stay at a job that is making me miserable and depressing me and causing me all this anxiety than to get some freaking retail jobs and work holidays until I find another full-time job. Really? 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 Yeah, really. I was never trapped at that job. So instead, I chose to complain. I chose to vent. I chose to throw pity parties for myself. I chose to talk about what's not fair and what's not going to work. I chose to make excuses and procrastinate. I chose to do all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life forever, which was leave. All I had to do was leave. I was never trapped at that job. And you are not trapped either. You have options. Yes, you do. Some of you believe that you don't have the ability to fix your problems yet because you just need more information. You have convinced yourself that you just don't have enough information to fix it. So if you watch more lives on TikTok, if you watch more YouTube videos, if you archive more reels, then you can get the information. If you ask ChatGPT more questions, then you can gather all the information that you need, and then you'll have the ability to fix your problems later. What if I told you you are not lacking information? No, you're not. Because let's be real, most of you guys are on social media all day. So you have more than enough information. You have so much information, you don't even know what to do with it all. You have watched all of the TikTok lives. You have watched YouTube video after YouTube video. You have already archived the reels. You have already asked ChatGPT 5,000 questions. You have all the information that you need. You are not lacking information. What you are lacking is implementation. Meaning, you don't execute shit. Which is why I made the keyword of this live, execution, because you're not doing that. You are the woman who talks about what she's going to do, but you never just do it. You are the woman who makes excuse after excuse as to why it won't work for her. You are the woman who procrastinates and talks about what's going to happen Monday or tomorrow or next year. You are the woman who distracts herself by watching Netflix and Hulu and scrolling on social media. That is you. You are doing all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. You throw pity parties, you feel sorry for yourself, you won't just start. You have all the information that you need. You just won't start. And that's the problem. There are things about you that is holding you back. You are getting in your own way. Your lack of confidence, your lack of discipline, your lack of consistency, your lack of sticking with the plan and not the mood. Those are the things that are holding you back. Your lack of prioritizing yourself in your own life. You're always doing for other people, but at what point are you going to do for yourself? Because until you make the choice to do something for yourself, you will never get the results that you want. There are things about you that have to change. You are getting in your own way. I'm going to assume that you want to be the version of yourself that is confident, who shows up, who's building her business and not caring what people think, who knows how to tell people no without feeling guilty, who knows how to have standards and priorities in her own life that revolve around her. That's what I'm going to assume you want. But in order to become that version of you, you are going to have to change who you are. See, that version of you is already within you, okay? You're more than capable of becoming that version of you. She's there. But she's buried under the excuses. She's buried under the fear and the limiting beliefs and the negative self-talk that you do. And until you let go of those things, until you change those things, you will never become your highest version. You have to change. Some of you have already bought course after course. Some of y'all buy courses and more courses. But you haven't changed you. You haven't put yourself first. You haven't followed through even when you don't feel like it. You are the common denominator in your own life. Some of y'all are entitled as hell. The entitlement is at an all-time high. And you don't even realize how entitled you are. Because a lot of you guys have convinced yourself that you are entitled to time. And you have convinced yourself that if you don't start today, you have the ability to start tomorrow. And if you choose not to start tomorrow, you can start next month. And if you decide you don't want to start next month, you always have next year. But I'm so confused because last time I checked, tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. How do you know that you'll be here in 6 months? Who told you that? How do you know that? How are you so sure? Who told you that you'll be here in 5 years? How do you know that? You don't. But you believe that you're entitled to it because you told yourself so. And instead of you living every day that you are blessed with to the fullest, doing what you want to do, being around the people who truly value you, showing up for yourself and walking in your purpose, instead of you doing that, you make the choice to waste the precious time that you have. You choose to distract yourself from things that aren't pouring into you. You choose to be around people who disrespect you. You choose to do these things. You don't have as much time as you think you do because one day you will run out of time. That is the truth. That is the cold, hard truth. You are getting older, not younger. And you will never be the age that you are right now again. And a lot of you guys refuse to understand that time is moving quickly. And it's crazy because I don't have to convince you of this. You see this in your own life. How many times a day, just be honest, do you look at the clock and say to yourself, wow, I cannot believe it's 8:07 a.m. Wow, I cannot believe it's March 2026. Wow, I cannot believe I'm 35 years old. Or insert your age there. If you're anything like me, you do that every day. So you already see for yourself how quickly time is moving. It literally feels like it was January 1st, 2026 last week, and now we're in March. And even though you see for yourself how quickly time flies by, you still make the choice to waste your precious, valuable time. Listen, time is your most valuable asset. Some of y'all don't want to believe that. Some of y'all think it's money. You have convinced yourself that money is the most valuable asset. No, it's not. It is not money. Because even if you lost $500 today, yeah, it would suck. You'd be pissed off. It would throw off some of your bills. Of course. I would be mad too. But guess what? You still have the ability to make more money. Might take you a while, but at least you can still make it. But when you lose your time, you don't get that back. You don't get not 1 minute back. So if you continue to waste your time with people who disrespect you, you are giving them your most valuable asset. If you choose to waste your time on social media, you are literally giving social media your most valuable asset. If you continue to work jobs that overwork you and underpay you, you are giving them your most valuable asset. Why do you think they sentence people to time? When people break the law, what do they have to serve? Time. Because you never get it back. You don't have as much time as you think you do. You're gonna have to start being intentional with your precious, valuable time. Because eventually, you will run out of it. That is guaranteed. One of the toughest, this is tough, one of the toughest reality pills I had to swallow on my own glow up journey. This is tough, so brace yourself. Your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices you make. I'm gonna say that again. Your life and the direction it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. So for those of you guys struggling financially, your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. When I heard that, my ego shattered. For the longest time, I used to believe that the reason I was living paycheck to paycheck was just because I didn't make enough money. And if I just made more, then my paycheck to paycheck problems would go away. Nope. You wanna know why I was living paycheck to paycheck? You wanna know? Because I was living above my means. I bought cars I couldn't afford. I stayed in apartments I couldn't afford. And all the money problems that I had was because I did it to myself. Even though people told me not to do it, I didn't listen, and I still did it. That was my fault. My finances were a direct reflection of the choices that I made. Now, some of y'all, your ego is going to try to get in the way and say, Jazz, I hear you. That is true, but that's not my story. I know why I'm paycheck to paycheck, and it's just because it's too expensive to be alive. How can I get ahead with rent prices this high, with gas prices this high, with food prices this high? How is that my fault? I hear you loud and clear. But I'm going to say it again. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. And I'm going to tell you why. Times have been hard, ladies. This isn't new. Am I lying? Food prices, rent prices, gas prices have been on the rise for years. True or false? This did not happen last night. But every day, you choose to do nothing about it. Because you could have launched your ebook 6 months ago. You would be making sales today. You could have started that YouTube channel 4 months ago. It would be monetized today. You could have started that TikTok last month. You would be building your community today. And what did we say? Our community, our subscribers, our followers, our viewers, our commenters, those are the people who buy our products. But every day, we make the choice not to. We choose to complain. We choose to vent. We choose to throw pity parties for ourselves. We choose to talk about what's not fair. We choose to distract ourselves. We choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life forever, which is start and follow through. Gonna have to change. That's going to have to change. And listen, the version of me y'all see today is a direct reflection of the changes that I've made. I'm not perfect. Ain't shit about me perfect at all. I have been through some struggles. I am nothing like who I used to be. Every day, I just committed to doing something a little bit different, slowly but surely slowly but surely getting out of that comfort zone of mine that I was used to. Crawling before I walked, walking before I run, every single day, just 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just something different. I'm nothing like who I used to be. I told you guys, I used to be 100 pounds overweight. And for the longest time, I was yo-yo dieting. I would lose 20, gain 30. Lose 30, gain 50. Year after year, I could never lose the weight and keep the weight off. I was doing crash diet after crash diet. Then I was making excuses, blaming my thyroid. Well, I have thyroid issues, so it's not my fault that I'm overweight. It's this, it's that, it's stress. In reality, it was me. Let's be real. It was me. I was the reason why I wasn't losing weight and keeping it off. I told you guys earlier, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It was obvious. I didn't know what I was doing when it came to weight loss. I proved to myself time and time again I didn't know what I was doing, because if I did, I would have not only lost it, but I would have kept it off. So it was time to try something different. So you know what I did differently? I hired a personal trainer. I didn't know shit about weight loss. That was the truth. I thought I did. I didn't know what I was doing. Why is it that once I hired the personal trainer, not only did I lose 100 pounds, but I've kept it off now for 4 years? How? Because he taught me things I didn't know. I didn't know. If I knew, I would have did it. He started holding me accountable. It's hard to lie to someone. Every day he's asking me, what am I eating? I got to come up with a new lie. At some point, it's like, maybe I should just eat the food he's telling me to eat because I'm running out of lies. He was the first person in my life that actually prioritized health and wellness. My whole family is obese. How the hell was I gonna be healthy if I'm not even surrounded by healthy people? I wasn't. You're not. You're not. He was the first person in my life who was a healthy weight and made sure that he works out every day, even if it's only 30 minutes, and that rubbed off on me. He's still my personal trainer to this day. The people you surround yourself with, I cannot make this up. Can't make that up. I used to be full of excuses. I had an excuse for everything. It was never my fault, never. I had the biggest ego. It was never me. It was always somebody else or something else. I used to procrastinate too. My motto was, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later. And later never showed up. Later never showed up. I used to live in fear too. I used to be scary as hell. Notice the fear that we're holding on to. These aren't even things that have happened yet. This is all stuff that you made up in your head. And it's always worst case scenario. It's always worst case you try something and people laugh at you. It's always that. Why do we never think best case scenario? Best case scenario, you post your content, you enjoy it, you feel better about yourself, then you post again and you build your community and you sell your products. Why can't we ever do best case? Why is it always worst case? All this fear that you refuse to let go of, it hasn't even happened. It's stuff that you made up. It's literally stuff that you made up. That's all your fear is. But you hold on to it so tightly. I used to be my biggest bully. I know a lot of y'all can relate to this. The things I used to say to myself, the things I had in my head was toxic as hell. I used to call myself stupid on a regular basis, and I thought it was funny. I would joke around with other people, girl, you know I'm stupid. That's just not fucking funny. Why was I talking to myself like that? Why was I talking about myself like that? Let me tell you this, ladies, this is the truth. Your internal world is a reflection of your external. So if you got chaos going on mentally, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. I know for a fact. I don't even have to know you to know that. If you disrespect yourself mentally, I know for a fact you got people in your real life who disrespect the hell out you. I know that for a fact. If you don't have structure going on in here, if you're all over the place in here, I know for a fact your life is chaotic and cluttered. Your car is probably cluttered. Your house is probably cluttered. There's no organization because you don't have organization in here. Your internal world is always a reflection of your external. The way you talk to yourself determines how you show up for yourself. So if you talk to yourself like shit, you're gonna do shitty things all day. You are going to have to change how you talk to yourself. If you wouldn't say those things to a child, you have no business saying it to yourself. And that is the truth. Start talking to yourself with respect. It's not cute, and it's not funny, and it's not even true. You are not stupid. Stop saying that. One of the biggest distractions that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you I started that toxic ass habit when I had that toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, then that toxic habit would just go away. Ladies, let me tell you this. Your problems don't just magically fix themselves. If you don't fix them, they just get worse. It just gets worse. When I wasn't fixing my weight problem, I just got bigger. My alcohol problem just got worse. See, at least when I was at work, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work, right? Well, I quit my job during COVID. Everything is shut down. Everything is closed. I have nothing but time to get drunk. See, I quit my job on a whim. I didn't have any money saved up. I had just bought a house, by the way. Hadn't even been in the house for a whole year yet before I quit. But it was just getting worse and worse. And something inside of me, which I believe was God, was just telling me, Jazz, quit now, quit now, quit now. I was turning 30 in a few months, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I had been here for 6 years. I quit. I just put in my 2-week notice, and I was out. I was done. But I had a plan. The plan was I was going to live off of my stimulus for a few months while I built my business, and then my business would just take over from there. Now, granted, I don't have any kids, okay? So my stimulus check wasn't but so much. I had about $2,000 to my name, and my mortgage was $1,900. So you do the math. It wasn't going to math. It wasn't going to work. But I couldn't take it anymore. I was just being optimistic, and I was like, fuck this job. I'm out of here. So I'm at home trying to make it all make sense, trying to learn and get all the information about digital products, monetizations, platforms, algorithms, products. So I'm watching TikTok live, same things you do. I'm watching YouTube videos, just trying to make it all make sense. I had a lot of ego back then, by the way. I was very prideful. And so I could never blame myself for why things weren't working. In my world, it was always someone else's problem. If I got into an argument with somebody, it's because of what they did. If something wasn't working out for me, it's because of this. But it was never because of Jasmine. No, because back then I was perfect as is. So if you had a problem with me, that's your problem, not mine. And so I'm not making any sales on my products. Nobody's buying my stuff. Nobody's even watching my YouTube videos. Nothing is working. I told you guys, the worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. Don't ever forget that. And I was lying to myself and telling myself that I'm doing everything that I can. But in reality, that's not the truth. Because I was always drunk. So I was not posting consistently. I was not going live. I wasn't doing any of the things. But it wasn't my fault. It's YouTube's fault. YouTube doesn't like me. It's Instagram's fault. Instagram doesn't like me, but it's not me. See, I was getting stressed and I was freaking out because I'm running out of money. My stimulus check is almost gone and I haven't made not any sales. And I already made payment arrangements with my light bill. My light bill was $700. And if I didn't pay the bill, the full amount on the day that was set, they were cutting them off. There were no more arrangements to be made. I already missed one mortgage payment. If I miss another, they were gonna start trying to foreclose on a house I hadn't even been in yet for a whole year. I was stressed and I was pissed off. And I'm mad at God because I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You told me the time was now. I quit and I'm running out of money. I didn't want to admit to myself that I'm the reason why it's not working. I didn't want to say to myself, I have a drinking problem and it's my fault. Oh God, the shame and the guilt, the embarrassment. I couldn't handle it. No. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. And I convinced myself that as long as I don't drink before 11 a.m., then I'm not an alcoholic. Because see, in my mind, in my world, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol, right? So if I wait till after 11, even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, then I don't have a problem. So there's nothing to talk about. What? I cannot make this up. The worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. But you get to a point where you can't keep running from you. At some point, you will hit a brick wall. And at some point, God is going to force you to listen to Him. See, I believe God is within you, by the way. He's not outside of you. He is within you. So those ideas that you get, that's God talking to you. When you get this feeling in you telling you to try this or do this, hey, what about this? That's God talking to you. Those ideas are coming from God. That intuition, that gut feeling that you feel, that is God trying to warn you of something. But you know what I've noticed that we do? We really don't want to listen to God. That's the truth. We say we do. It sounds good in conversation, but in all actuality, we don't. And we actually distract ourselves to avoid listening to God. Because deep down inside, you know what you should be doing. God is telling you every day, but every day you make the choice not to. If that's not true, well, then let me ask you this. How many ideas did God give you last year that you didn't even try? If that's not true, let me ask you, how many times have you gone against your gut feeling just to find out later that you were right the whole time? We never want to listen to God. But eventually, He's going to make you listen. I'll never forget, I was sitting on my bed crying, and I was scared. I was like, I'm about to lose my house. They're about to take my house, Lord. I don't know what to do. God said, Jazz, what are you doing? You have been begging me for a business for years, which is true. I had been. He said the opportunity is right in front of you, and you're wasting it. So what are you gonna do? You gonna keep doing what you've been doing, which is a whole bunch of nothing? Or are you going to fix it? Are you going to change? I decided to fix it. I decided to change. I decided to stop drinking. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. I am done. And since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting consistently. My platform started growing. I started making sales. All because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started saying nice things to myself. I started to feel good about myself for the first time because not only was I keeping the promises that I made to myself, I was actually getting it done. Now I'm saying things to myself like, Chad, you're really smart. I'm so proud of you. That's how I'm talking to me. You can do this. You're really making it happen. For the first time in my life, I started to have confidence in myself. Never had that before. All because I decided to change. See, what a lot of people fail to realize, and what I didn't realize back then was this: in order to get something, you are going to have to give up something. You can't have both. In order to get something, you have to give something up. Back to weight loss. In order for me to lose weight, I had to give up soda. In order for me to lose weight, I had to give up fast food. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God for years, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up fear. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up negative self-talk. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. He gave me everything I asked for and more. All because I decided to change. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace the job I had. And I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you could help me make $45K a year, I'll make it work. I'll cut the cable off. Just please help me get out of this job. Girl, God gave me 6 figures. I had asked God for 1,000 Instagram followers. I don't know, because I don't even know 10 people. So in my mind, I'm like, shit, if I can get 1,000 people to follow me, little old me, wow. God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5,000 YouTube subscribers. I don't know, I thought that was a lot of people. God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I asked God for just a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. There's nothing I don't think I can't do. I keep all of the promises that I make to myself. I can't even remember the last time I cried. All because I decided to change. See, the woman I was back then didn't align with this version. This version that you guys see today, very confident, loves herself, knows how to put herself first and not feel bad about it, knows how to tell people no, knows how to cut off toxic people who don't pour into me but only drain me, shows up and posts her content and doesn't care what people think, and loves herself. But I was never going to be this version until I changed who I was, because the woman I was wasn't aligned with this. I was always capable. It was always within me, but it was buried under the fear and the limiting beliefs and the excuses that I refused to let go of. But once I let those things go, I became this version that I am today. See, God is ready to bless us. He has your blessings. All of the prayers, all of the things that you have asked for, He heard you loud and clear. And He's ready to give you everything on a silver platter. But the problem is, He gives us free will. So in other words, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He's not going to stop you. So if you want to waste 5 years, He'll let you. If you want to waste 20 years, He'll let you. You know, some people never get everything that they asked for because they refuse to change. They refuse to listen. They refuse to be obedient. But once you change, once you listen, He gives you everything times 1,000. And yeah, maybe change is hard. Okay. Maybe change is hard. Fine. But the life that you're currently living is hard. Crying every day because you're stressed, because you're depressed, that's hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Going to a job that drains your spirit is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Knowing deep down inside, deep down in your soul, that there is something better for you and you're not living it is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. I've lived both hards. And I will always choose this one because at least this hard comes with peace. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with happiness. This hard comes with confidence, this hard, comes with the income that you need to live the life of your dreams. I keep telling you over and over and over again, if you even thought the thought, that's because you can. If you truly were not capable of doing it, it wouldn't even have crossed your mind. No, it wouldn't have. God wouldn't plant seeds in an environment that couldn't harvest it. But it crossed your mind for a reason. There's a reason why you thought about starting a business. There's a reason why you thought about creating content. There's a reason why you thought about selling your products. There's a reason why you thought about losing weight. And that's because you can. You can. Because if you couldn't, you wouldn't have even thought about it. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to change. Meaning, you are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone of yours and do something a little bit different today. Because if you don't, you will continue to let fear steal your dream life from you year after year. For those of you guys who want to change, then I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the way things are going and you don't think there's room for improvement, then fine. Keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. Cool. But if you're not 1000% happy with the way things are going and you want to change it, then I want to help you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you how to start and run your online business. Whatever it is you want to do on these online streets, I'm going to teach you. It's all in there. If you want to monetize your platforms, all of my platforms are monetized. I'll teach you. If you want to sell your digital products, create your ebooks, I'll teach you step by step. It's all in there. If you want to sell on TikTok Live, how my other students do, how thousands of other creators do, fine, it's in there. I will teach you. Everything that you need for your online business is inside of Glow Up Academy. But not only am I going to teach you how to run your online business, most importantly, ladies, I'm going to teach you how to build you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I, together, are going to build your discipline. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I, together, are going to build your consistency. Inside of Glow Up Academy, together, you and I are going to build your confidence. Together, you and I are going to start making you a priority in your own life. Whether you have 20 minutes a day or 5 hours a day, I don't care how much time you have. We're going to figure out when you're going to lock in and work for you. Ladies, you keep holding you back. Gotta change it. Gotta change it. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do you build your online business, but you finally become the woman who actually follows through. Every single day, you and I are going to make your dreams a reality. Now, before I let you join Glow Up Academy, there's a couple of things. One, I only let 10 people in at a time. Because believe it or not everybody has the same path. Some people have a product, no audience. Some people have an audience, no product. Some people have a million ideas and they're trying to do everything at once. So you're listening to all of the ideas God gave you, but you're spreading yourself way too thin. I told you guys earlier, money flows where energy goes. So you and I are going to pick your most favorite one idea and we're going to build that. And then once that one is flourishing, then we'll reach back into the pile and pull something else out. Some of you guys have no clue what kind of business you want to start, and that's fine. We'll figure it out together. And then some of you guys don't want to start a business right now. There are other things that you want to work on. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to start prioritizing yourself. Maybe you want to heal from toxic relationships. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, I can help you. I have just noticed for myself that having more than 10 people join at one time overwhelms me, because I want to make sure I'm able to pour into you the way that you deserve. That's why I cap it at 10. And then once 10 people join, I take the link down and you can't enter until I'm ready to accept new members. Something else too, I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. I told you guys earlier, I can't convince you of anything and I'm not here to. I can only help people who want it. The woman who knows she wants to change, that's who I'm here to help, okay? So when the timer starts, just move. Deep down inside, you know that I can help you, and you know that you need a change, which is why you're still here. So don't overthink, don't overanalyze like you always do. Just click the link and join so that we can start executing the goals that you have for yourself today. Because once that timer goes off, we are done, and I am taking the link down, okay? One last thing. Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside forever, all right? You will always have access to everything that's in there, plus the stuff that I update every single month because things are constantly changing, right? You will also always have access to our live coaching calls. We go live. You will always have access to those. You also always have access to ask me any questions that you have, any feedback that you want. I always check in with you to make sure that you're doing what we've talked about and to hold you accountable. So you will always have access to all of those things, all right? Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, and I charge $5.97 for it, and it's worth every single penny. Women join at $5.97. However, you stayed here. You listened, you asked questions, and most importantly, you told me you were going to execute. And because you did those things, I'm going to take the price down. And the price will stay down for the 10 minutes that the timer is going. But once that timer goes off, I am taking the price back up to $5.97. Don't message me later on in the afternoon after you had time to overthink and ask me to lower the price. Women do it every day, and I don't. Because I specifically said not to overthink, and you still made the choice to, which is fine, but now you're paying $5.97, and they do pay it. So don't overthink, just move. You know I can help you. That's why you're here, okay? You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment down so you can still get in while it's lower, okay? All right. I'm going to show TikTok how to join first, and then I'm going to show YouTube. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a tad bit different, so just hang tight for a few seconds. TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you are going to click on my profile picture up at the top twice and come to my profile. Now, TikTok number one, the one that says turn your phone into an ATM, y'all are on my main account, so my profile does not look like this. However, the link is still the same, okay? Once you get to my profile, you're gonna click on this link that says stand.store. And it'll take you right to where you need to be. Become the woman who actually follows through, okay? Scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews, and listen, I don't mind. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address. You guys, this is critical. The email address that you guys put in is where everything is going. Sometimes the autocorrect gets you and it'll misspell some letters. Please quadruple check that. Do not leave my live until you confirm to me that you received both emails and that you have full access inside of Glow Up Academy, okay? Scroll down, you can use Afterpay or Klarna to break the payment up, and then you click on this blue button that says Start My Glow Up. Excuse me. Within 30 seconds, you should be receiving the very first email from Stan. Please do not leave until you let me know you got that. It really is only 10 seconds, but we'll give it 30 seconds. If you do not get it, that's because there was a spelling mistake with your email, but no worries. I'll fix it right here on live and get you right to where you need to be. Okay, so please don't leave till you let me know you got it. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, your instructions are a little bit different. You're gonna leave the live, come to my YouTube channel, and then click on this link right here that says stand.store. And then same thing, Here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And it is marked down. It is $249, and it'll stay $249 for the next 10 minutes for lifetime access. As I said, scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews. I don't mind. Enter your name. Quadruple check your email address. And you can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up, and then click the blue button that says Start My Glow Up. Okay? Now, once you guys are inside, let me show you. There is an inbox icon right here up at the top. After I get off of this live, so in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be messaging you because I want to know more about you. I can't help you if I don't know what needs help. I want to know more about you. What are you struggling with? What are your ideas? What have you tried? What have you not? I want to know as much as possible because I literally sit down and help you figure out what's best for you. How are we going to squeeze these things in? Everyone has different responsibilities, correct? So we're going to figure out what works best for you. We're going to start small. We're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. I can't do that. I can't create a custom plan for you if you don't respond to me. So please do not leave me on red. Do not leave me on red. Now, some of y'all are at work or you have things to do. That's fine. Before you go to bed tonight, I want you to promise me that you are going to respond to my message. Okay, I respond to all of my students and I check in, but I can't check in if I don't know because you don't respond. All right, so please make sure you are always checking your messages for me. Okay, there's an inbox icon right up here at the top, so that's where you will see my message in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set the timer now. All right, the timer has started. For those of you guys who joined, I'm sending out that second email. So the first email, you guys, is coming from Stan. The second email is coming from me. It says Jasmine Spencer. I am Jasmine Spencer. And that second email will have a yellow button inside that says Join Now. I want you to click on that and then let me know that you have full access inside of Glow Up Academy, okay? I wanna make sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. I did see that member count go up by 2, so let me send the 2 ladies. Good morning. All right, 1 second. Ashley, check your email for me and confirm you received both. The one from Stan and then the one from Jasmine Spencer. And once you guys tell me you got it, like I said, click on that yellow button and actually join now for me, okay? Because as soon as I get off of here, I hop right inside and start speaking with you. So I want to know that you are where you're supposed to be, okay? So Ashley and Brandy, can you check your email for me? Ashley and Brandy, I'm not sure which live you guys are on. All right, so Ashley and Brandy, I'm waiting for 2 ladies to confirm. We have a few more minutes left. I am confident in my abilities. I am confident in my abilities. If you are not, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. I already know that you can do the things, but I need you to know. And if you don't believe that you can, that's what we have to work on. Because it doesn't matter how many templates I give you, and thank you for asking us a good question. It doesn't matter how many email templates I give you. It doesn't matter what I tell you to do to create the content. If you don't even believe that you're capable, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna continue to self-sabotage. The question was, am I a life coach? Yes, I am way more of a life coach than a business coach. I will give you all of the tools that I use to run my business. I've been running my business for 6 years. My business is not coaching. I have a real business outside of this, okay? I give you all of the tools, but I'd say about 93% of the things that I help women with the most is their confidence. Learning how to tell people no, learning how to put themselves first in their own life, learning how to follow through with the plans that we create for them, learning how to stop self-sabotaging. 93% of it is life coaching. Because once we get through that initial hurdle of building your confidence, everything else is effortless. Showing up consistently and posting your content, that becomes easy. Knowing how to stick to the plan and not the mood, that becomes effortless because you now have the confidence in yourself to get it done. If we don't first start with the confidence, you're gonna self-sabotage. you will continuously self-sabotage, which is what you've been doing. Self-sabotage can look like buying courses and not following through. Self-sabotage could look like, well, I'm too busy. Self-sabotage could look like holding on to toxic relationships that aren't doing anything for you. Self-sabotage could be watching other people and comparing your life to theirs. These are all forms of self-sabotage. And you will continue to do that because you haven't built confidence. You refuse to keep the promises that you make to yourself. We got to fix that. And so that's why I stress the importance of not overwhelming you and us starting small. Perfect. Thank you. Make sure you actually click the link and join for me, okay? Okay, I see you inside. I am still waiting on Ashley. Okay, so that's what we work on the most. That's what we work on the most. That was a good question. Thank you for asking. I am deserving of every bit of love, joy, and positivity that comes my way. I am deserving of every bit of love, joy, and positivity that comes my way. You better believe it. You better believe it. You got to believe it to achieve it. You are deserving. You are worthy. I don't care who told you what. Doesn't matter. It's a new day. It's a new day. Okay? There is nothing that I said this morning that is out of reach for you. But if you don't believe that, you're not going to do it. Okay? Ooh, I take action toward my goals every day. I take action towards my goals every day. Every day. Whether you got 20 minutes or 2 hours, I don't give a damn. I need you to start taking action towards your goals. And don't you dare say you don't have time. I don't give people that excuse. Because I know you're on social media. Social media would not be $1 billion industry if you weren't sitting on social media all day. It wouldn't even exist. It would not even exist. Nobody's content would be getting views. Nobody would be joining people's lives. Nobody would be liking pictures. But they are. Which lets me know that's because you are on social media all day. You're scrolling every couple of minutes. Maybe you have a break at lunch, a break at work. You're scrolling while you're sitting at the red light on the street. True or false? You see it for yourself. Can't even go to a stoplight without seeing people on their phone, on Instagram. Late at night when you should be going to sleep, you're on social media. All of that is time that you could be using towards your goals, but you make the choice not to. Then you have the audacity to complain. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. You don't have to have 5 hours a day to work on your goals. You don't have to have 2 hours a day to work on your goals. But I know this, you do have 30 minutes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. She said, want to join but don't have the credit card. You can use Afterpay or Klarna, Clara. Good question. Good question. Okay? We have a few more seconds. Ashley, I'm still waiting on you, babe. I don't know where she's at. And y'all know how we roll. Please don't let me know that you got in if you did. I need to know. I like to know everyone is where they're supposed to be. I like to know everyone is where they are supposed to be. We have a few seconds left. I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, perfect. So as soon as I get off, we got 2 minutes. I'm going to be sending you a message. So please watch out for that. One more time, TikTok family. Click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Come to my profile and then click on the link that says stand.store. Okay. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. YouTube. Leave the live. Come to my channel. And then click where it says stand.store right here. And then here we are. Same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through. It's marked down 249 for a few more seconds. Scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews. Enter your name. Quadruple check your email address. You can use Afterpay or Klarna, and then click where it says Start My Glove. And then within 30 seconds, you will be receiving that very first email. For those of you guys who are on the fence, let me just tell you this before we end it. Deep down inside, you know I can help you. Otherwise, you would have left. One thing I know is this. Once I end the live, it gets pushed off till tomorrow and later, and I'll do it next time. But those days never come. How many times have you told yourself later, that was our timer, and you didn't do it later? Once I end this live, my voice does slowly start to fade away. and everything that I said becomes a memory. And within a few hours, you go right back to what you know, watching from the sidelines and making excuses and talking about what you're going to do tomorrow. Okay? In order to get the results that you want, you are going to have to change who you are. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Everyone wants to talk about the lavish lifestyle of entrepreneurship, but nobody wants to tell you the truth, is that you have to become the version of yourself that actually gets it done. Everyone leaves that part out, which is why time and time again people start stuff but never follow through with it, because they refuse to change who they were. There are things about you that have to change. You have to change. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Have an amazing Thursday. For those of you guys who joined, I'm hopping in now. You'll be receiving a message from me within the next 5 minutes. For those of you guys who didn't, I'm glad you are getting the results that you want and that you are happy with the way things are going for you. Make sure you follow me so you do not lose me, because I do steal my videos, okay? All right, y'all. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, YouTube.